Hello everyone, welcome to our presentation. I am Tejasri Lakshmi and I am with my friend Harshita from Seshadri Rao Gudlavaleru Engineering College pursuing 3rd BTech in the field of Artificial Intelligence and Data Science. Harshita will be presenting the next part of our PPT, so let's get started. Today, I'm going to present my project HomelyHub, a full stack accommodation booking platform. HomelyHub is an online platform that helps people search for, explore, and book accommodations such as rooms, houses, or apartments. The idea behind this project is to create a simple, modern, and user friendly platform where users can make bookings quickly and easily without any confusion. This project was built using the MERN stack, MongoDB, Express.js, React.js, and Node.js, which makes it a complete full stack web application. MongoDB stores all users' data, booking information, and listings securely in the cloud. Express.js acts as bridge that handles all roads and connects frontend with backend. React.js is used to design the frontend and create reusable components for pages like home, login, and bookings. Node.js powers the server and makes sure everything runs smoothly. My goal was to combine both design and functionality in one project. It is not just about writing code, but about solving real world problems through technology. This project taught me how to work like a full stack developer, managing design, logic, and databases. It was an amazing experience to learn and apply these technologies together. Let's move on to the next slide. HTML or Hypertext Markup Language is the foundation of every website. It defines the structure and content of web pages. It does not decide how things look, but it decides what appears where. In HomelyHub, HTML was used to build the skeleton for every page. The home page uses header, nav, and selection tags to organize the top bar, menu, and property listings. The login and sign up pages use form tags for collecting user information. The booking page uses input fields inside form tags for data like check in, check out, and number of guests. The footer uses footer and paragraph tags to show copyright and contact information. I also used semantic HTML, meaning every tag matches its purpose, like article for listing cards and main for central content. This improves readability, SEO, and accessibility. In short, HTML forms the skeleton of the project. It is like the structure of a house before painting or decorating, strong, organized, and clean. Now let's move on to the next slide. JavaScript. JavaScript is what brings the website to life. Without it, a website would just sit still like a poster. In my project, JavaScript is used to handle logic and interactivity. It checks that users fill all fields before submitting a form. It dynamically displays available properties based on user search. It calculates total price instantly when user selects dates. It connects to the backend using fetch-off API, so data updates without page reload. Example, when a user clicks Book Now, JavaScript collects all input data, sends it to the server, and displays a booking confirmation all in seconds. It also handles form validation, error messages, and loading animations to improve user experience. In short, JavaScript acts as the brain of the website, controlling what happens when the user interacts with it. Now let's move on to the next topic, CSS or cascading style sheets. Gives life to the structure. It makes everything look beautiful, organized, and professional. I used both normal CSS and Tailwind CSS in this project. CSS helps define layouts using flexbox and grid, colors, shadows, and borders for each section, fonts and styles to make content readable, responsive behavior using media queries so the website adjusts automatically to any screen size. A HomelyHub website is given a modern theme and it's also clean with smooth buttons, rounded corners, and pastel colors that look calm and professional. I also used hover animations to make buttons and cards feel more interactive. CSS turned my basic HTML structure into an elegant, mobile friendly web design. Now let's move on to the next topic, CSS and JS properties. CSS and JavaScript work hand in hand to make a website both functional and appealing. CSS properties like display, user to flex align items neatly, justify content, to give space items evenly, border radius, create soft edges, box shadow, add light shadows, transition, smooth animations, font family, maintain consistent fonts. These make the layout look refined and balanced. JavaScript functions like fetch off uh, to get from backend to get data from backend, map off and filter off, display property less dynamically, local storage, save login data temporarily, add event listener, react to clicks and actions. The combined use of CSS and JavaScript ensures that the user experience is both and visually smooth and technically responsive. Now, our next slide is overview. HomelyHub is a complete accommodation booking web platform where users can set properties, view images and details, book stays securely, manage their bookings. It's like a simpler version of Airbnb created with learning and functionality in mind. Every part of the system, from the design to database, was developed by me. The main goals were to make it fast, responsive, and reliable, to use modern web technologies when stack, to provide a good user interface that even a beginner can use. This slide summarizes what the platform is about and its purpose. Now let's move on to the next slide, goals of internship. During my internship, I had clear goals, learn how full stack web development works in real life, understand how to design both front end and back end efficiently, gain practical experience with APIs, authentication, and databases, develop teamwork, time management, and communication skills. This project helped me accomplish all of this. I learned to structure code properly, debug errors independently, and deploy applications on the cloud. My internship was not just about building something, it was about learning how developers think and how professional projects are executed. Now let's move on to the next slide, a brief project requirements. The tools and technologies used. Front-end, React.js, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and Tailwind CSS. Backend, Node.js and Express.js. Database, MongoDB. For authentication, JWT for secure login. For hosting, Vercel and Render. And the functional requirements are user registration and login, property viewing and search filters, booking system, and data storage and management. Each requirement was chosen to make the app secure, scalable, and user friendly. And now let's move on to the next slide, architecture and design. The project follows MERN architecture, which means all components use JavaScript and integrate smoothly. The architecture flow. The user interacts with the React frontend. The frontend sends requests to the Express and Node backend. The backend fetches and stores data in MongoDB. The server returns results which React displays immediately. This design is efficient and easy to expand with new features in the future.
Thank you for the explanation. I am Harshita from Seshadri Rao Gudlavalle Engineering College. Now I'll continue to the next part of the presentation. I'll be explaining from the slide 10. And starting with the full stack web development, it means creating both the front end and back end parts of the website. The front end is the part that users see on the screen. It includes all the things we can interact with, like the buttons, menus, images, forms, and the layouts. It mainly focuses on the design and the user experience. The backend is the hidden part that works behind the scenes. It is responsible for data storage, logic, communication between the website and the database. For example, when a user fills out a booking form on the website, the frontend collects the details like name, dates, and the number of guests. The backend then checks the details and stores them safely in the database. Both the front end and backend are equally important. Together, they form a complete web application. Front-end development commonly uses technologies such as the HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and React.js to create the attractive and responsive interfaces. Backend development usually uses the Node.js, Express.js, and a database like MongoDB to handle requests and store the data. Full-stack development provides an understanding of how every part of the website contains and works together to create a smooth user experience. And coming to the next slide, which is the MERN stack overview. The MERN stack is a popular technology used for developing modern web applications. The word MERN stands for the M stands for the MongoDB, a NoSQL database used to store the data like the user details, bookings, and property information. And coming to the E, it stands for the Express.js, a framework that helps manage the roads and connect the front end to the back end easily. And coming to the R, it stands for the React.js, a front end library used to design the user interface and make it dynamic and interactive. And coming to the N, it stands for the Node.js, a server environment that runs the backend and handles all the operations. The special thing about the MERN stack is that it uses the JavaScript for all parts, such as the front-end, back-end, and database operations. This makes development faster and more efficient. The MERN stack is widely used in real-world projects because it allows developers to build responsive, scalable, and high-performance applications. Websites built using this stack can handle large amount of data, display the information instantly, and give users a smooth experience. Overall, the MERN stack represents a complete, modern, and efficient way to build the full stack web applications. In coming to the next slide, which is the implementation details. This slide explains the implementation process, how a project like the HomelyHub is planned, designed, and developed step by step. The first step is planning and design, where the layout of the website is decided. Important pages like home, login, booking, and dashboard are planned with the flow and the purpose. Next is the front-end development. where tools like React.js and Tailwind CSS are used to design each section. The goal is to make the website visually attractive and easy to use. After that comes the backend development, where Node.js and Express.js are used to build. These are connections that allow the frontend to communicate with the database, and they are the APIs. Then comes the database integration using the MongoDB, where data such as the user details, properties, and bookings are stored safely. Another important part is the authentication, which is done using the JWT, which is the JSON Web Token. It helps in verifying the identity of users and keeping accounts very secure. The project is then tested to check the errors and ensure everything works properly on both the desktop and the mobile. This entire process shows how different technologies come together to create a working web application from the start to the finish. And coming to the next slide, which is the home page and the navigation bar. This slide shows the home page and navigation bar of the website. The home page is designed to be simple, clear, and easy to use. At the top, there is a navigation bar with the links such as the home, bookings, login, and contact. It remains fixed when scrolling, so users can access it anytime. Below the search bar, there are featured properties, each shown with an image, short description, and the price. The design uses the light and soft colors to make the website look very clean and professional. The homepage gives a first impression of the project. It introduces users to what the platform offers and helps them start exploring easily. And coming to the next slide, which is the property listing and the details page. This slide shows two important parts: the property listing page and the property details page. On the property listing page, users can see a collection of available accommodations. Each property card displays a small image, the property name, price per night, and a view details button. This layout helps users quickly compare multiple options before choosing one. When users click on the view details option, they are taken to the property details page. This page provides complete information about the particular property, such as the bigger images, the number of rooms, amenities, location on the map, and the booking options. This section is designed to help users make better choice by showing all the details clearly. The clean layout and easy navigation make the process user-friendly and very efficient. And coming to the next slide, which is the booking form and confirmation page. This slide shows the main process of a booking a room or accommodation. The first image shows the booking form page, which asks user to fill the details such as the name, email, check-in and check-out dates, and the number of guests. Once the form is filled and submitted, the data is processed by the backend and stored in the database. After successful submission, the second image shows the confirmation page, which displays the booking ID, room name, and dates of stay. It also shows a successful message confirming that the booking was successful. This process gives user a feeling of trust and satisfaction that their booking was properly completed. The page design is simple, using soft colors and clear text to make it look professional and easy to understand. And coming to the next slide, which is the login or sign up and dashboard. This slide shows the login and sign up page as well as the user dashboard. On the login page, users can either sign into the account or create a new one using the sign up option. Once logged in, users are redirected to the dashboard, which displays all their bookings. The dashboard shows information like booking dates, property names, and booking IDs. It may also allow users to update or cancel their bookings if they need. The layout is kept simple and clear for better understanding. The purpose of this part is to make sure every user has their own secure account and can manage their bookings easily in one place. It also ensures privacy and safety of user information through a secure authentication system. And coming to the next slide, which is the responsive design. This slide explains how the website adjusts to different screen sizes like the mobile phones, tablets, and the computers. The website layout automatically changes depending on the screen size, which is called the responsive design. On mobile, the menu becomes a drop down button and only one property card is shown in a row. On tablets, 2 property cards appear per row, and on desktops, 3 or 4 cards visible together. This was achieved using the CSS media queries and responsive layout techniques. Having a responsive design is very important because most people use the mobile devices to browse the websites. It ensures that the site looks neat, readable, and easy to use on all the devices. This makes the platform more professional and accessible to all the type of the users. And coming to the last slide, which is the conclusion. To conclude my presentation, HomelyHub is a web-based platform that demonstrates how a full-stack application works. It includes all the important parts of the modern website, which is the front-end design, back-end logic, database connection, and responsive layout. The project shows how different technologies like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React, Node.js, Express.js, and MongoDB work together to create one functional web system. Through this concept, we can understand the complete process of building and managing a booking platform, from designing pages, handling data, and providing secure user access to ensuring the website works on all the devices. The project also helps students to understand how web applications are developed in real-world companies. Overall, the presentation gives a complete view of how full-stack web development connects theory with the practical understanding. This brings me to the end of my presentation. I sincerely thank Webstack Academy team for giving us this opportunity to learn and present our project. Finally, I thank all of you for your attention and patience during my presentation. Finally, thank you everyone.